Not the Hera, bro. First sub of the day, 3 follows on the day. We're on a 5-day streak for the daily follower goal.
I will stay diligent.
You want to go in the freezer? Okay. Where's the mommy? Mommy went upstairs. Not even trying to defend. Unfort. Buddy, be careful. Don't play with that. No. Liam. Don't touch that. You'll get boo-boo. Okay. You want me to get you a popsicle? Huh? Okay.
I'm sick of fighting the things that you said. I don't wanna burn all our bridges ahead. I'm tired of going to bed when you left me on red just to turn up the noise in my head. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you.
I think they're talking about team fight tactics. Maybe not. Oh, probably get mana before I leave. Team fight tactics, yeah, it's a separate auto battler type game. Honestly, with when they dropped the ball with Realm Royale, if Realm Royale had succeeded and they didn't fuck up the Forge system and make those bunch of changes, which literally led to the quickest death of a video game I think I've ever seen in video game history, it would have been the difference between Smite itself being a household name and not. So even though that sounds weird, so you're saying like the death of Realm Royale led to a lack of success for Smite? Yes. Yes. If you guys don't know the story on Realm Royale, we can chat about it, but they made decisions balance-wise with how the game works that every top creator and player told them not to change, and they said, "Nah, we're going to change it anyway," and it literally led to the quickest death of a game in an active player base, viewership base that I've ever seen literally in my life. No, because it would have made Hera a household name. Realm Royale would have. It would have made Hera a household name, which would have brought validity to Smite. I can show you the Steam charts later. Stratio, thank you. Much appreciated. Momo, or Mom. I bought Face in the company a few months ago, so I played Smite before, but I stopped trusting the devs. I hope they put out some good shit, but I'm not holding my breath. Mulan vs. Hera rough? Yeah. No, the Smite devs are fine. There's a difference between Smite devs and high res. Smite devs do fine. Smite devs do fine on balancing. They do good on God releases, etc., etc. There's some things that definitely need to get fixed. There's some things that definitely need to get fixed going into Season 10, but I have not lost faith by any means in the actual Smite devs. High res as a whole with who decides things, little iffy sometimes here.
So sturdy,
That's fine for
yet
you
it
to
feels
disagree.
So light.
But I'm just going based on the gods they've released this year. They're good. The balance team does a great job, better than almost any other game, with how often they put out balance changes to make sure the game stays balanced, with how often they release stuff and the transparency they do it with. You can't really debate with me on the fact that they put in more effort, and a lot of times the things they are doing to balance different aspects of the game is much better than any other game that does it. So it's probably better not to debate, because it's not really debatable. The amount of effort that the balance team puts into balancing the game is far better than any game I've ever seen. I'm a Loki main? I mean... I don't like Loki personally. I'll give you an example. We sat here, we complained that this tanky dive meta was one of the worst metas for Smite around halfway through the year. They make some changes. They make some changes to tanks. They make some changes to tank items, and all of a sudden there's 4 ADCs in every game, and we go through the worst ADC meta I've ever seen. There's literally 4 ADCs in every game. Every ranked game. SPL game had 3 ADCs. It's ADC solo lanes, right? We hate this tank meta. Let's get rid of it. And we just go into the worst ADC meta following it. People overestimate how easy it is or not easy it is to balance these games. And Hi-Res does a good job at it. Oh, I'm going to keep discussing. You don't have to respond to it, but I mean, if this is something I want to talk about, because people give unwarranted criticisms to Smite and the Smite devs for the sake of doing it, and people complain too often about every change that's made. You make a change about Thorns, the ADCs are mad. You make a change about this, the warriors are mad. You make a change about this, somebody else is mad. And a lot of times, I'm be honest with you, a lot of y'all don't actually have the knowledge to understand why changes are being made, but you make just very base decisions and very base opinions on those changes without actually having anything to back it up, like actual statistics or anything, and nobody looks it up. They just go based on what they think is good for the game, and a lot of times they don't actually know. Not saying anybody specifically in here, I'm just talking about the people that complain in general. And when people just complain all the time, no matter what changes happen, all you're doing is making it harder to actually balance the game in a healthier way.
Swiftly now.
Wait, what happened to Realm Royale? I was reading the Wikipedia. It seems like it was very well received. Okay, I'll go through the Realm Royale thing. So, the interesting thing about Realm Royale is it was a battle royale, and there was a unique aspect of characters. There was a unique aspect of weapons, legendary weapons, and the most unique aspect was there was strategic positioning within the game to where you could hold objectives. You could hold objectives like a forge, and with that forge, you could forge your legendary weapons. So it made sense if a forge was in a zone, it would make sense to yo, what's up, Shaco? It would make sense to like hold that forge, so that way you could get your better weapons. You could bait people to come in and try and get theirs. You could kill them for more materials, which allowed you to make better weapons. So it gave a strategic aspect to the game that a lot of other battle royales at the time didn't really have. So everybody was playing it. You know, Ninja was playing it, Shroud was playing it, like everybody was playing it, and there was like over a 200,000 active player base, average player base, for almost 2 months. And then they decided, the devs of the game decided to... Yo, Connor, I wouldn't really worry about if people care if you play a certain god, brother. Play what you want to play. Do what you like.
I know.
Don't worry about what other people think. And, so, at some point, the game was being played by every top Battle Royale streamer, okay? It was being played by every top Battle Royale streamer. It was being played by like 200,000 players per day, etc., etc. And they made a decision. They made a decision to change the forge system and have the legendary items be in chests, kind of like Fortnite, kind of like whatever other Battle Royale game. So basically an RNG chance of finding these items rather than the forge system, which was very unique to the game, which created an opportunity to where if you were better players at the game, because you know how like in a lot of Battle Royales, you can get lucky and get good items, right? So it kind of takes away an element of being good at the game. With the forge system, if you were the best players on the map, you hold the forges, you get the better items, you can win the game more easily. And a lot of people like that, where it was like, there's less RNG here. If I'm good, I'm gonna win, right? If I'm good, I have a better chance of winning. And a lot of the top, you know, streamers and Battle Royale players liked that aspect of the game. So they were gonna get rid of it. They were gonna get rid of it. They were gonna get rid of it, and a lot of people told them not to, and they were basically like, well, we want to. And they got rid of it anyway, okay? So people were like, do not get rid of the forge. Literally, they were telling them, do not get rid of the forge system. This is what makes, like, Ninja was saying it. Shroud was saying it. Like, the top people in the world that you want playing your game were like, don't change this. This is what makes your game good, okay? And they said, yeah, nah, you know, that's not what we want. This is going to be better. And the reason that they did it, I guarantee you, is because... And I'll give this example across all games. I'll give you an example across all games. If you ever try to balance your game around the casual community because you have the perception that there is more casual players than there is hardcore players, you are going to ruin your fucking game. You are going to ruin your game. Stop balancing games around the casual player base. The casual player base is not what supports your game. The strive to get better at a game, to get as good as other people, is what makes games feel rewarding. Having there be an element of, oh, I want to get better at the game, I want to be able to hold the forge, I want to be able to earn this win rather than find a legendary item in a chest which might help me win. I want to earn the right to hold the forge, like all these different aspects that make games good. A lot of devs fall into this thing where they're like, well, yo, there's like 200,000 players and only 0.1% of them are actually like really good. So they're probably getting really frustrated by not being able to hoard the forge, which means they never win. And if they never win, then they're going to stop playing. Wrong, 100% wrong. If you ever balance the game based on your casual player base, you are going to end up with only a casual player base, and those casual players are going to move on to other games much quicker than your hardcore community. Because when you get really good at something, you are more likely to stay there. When you invest time to get the knowledge of a game, that's why a lot of people don't leave Smite. Like, yo, I put in 8 years. I know all 125 characters. I know all of the items. I know how all the characters work. I know all the abilities, like, right? That's why you stay here. It's fun to be good at something. So either way, they got rid of it. Either way, they got rid of it. That doesn't kill.
All things end.
Oh no, baby, what is you doing?
And either way, they got rid of it. And the player base, no joke, the player base went from like 200,000 down to like 20,000 down to 4,000 within like 2 to 4 months. No joke. 200,000 down to like 7,000 in 2 months. and every top streamer stopped playing the
Your
game.
middle tower has been destroyed.
Nothing wrong with being a casual player? There's not. No, there's not. But if there's nothing wrong with being a casual player. No, 100% no. But balancing a game around what you feel is going to cater to the casual player base is always wrong for the game, and I would even say it's even wrong for the casual player base. Because you know what happens when you make a game too easy to win? It's not as rewarding when you win. So like, oh, it's gonna make, you know, it's gonna make kids who aren't as good start to win, and that'll make things cool. It's like, then just put bots in the game. Then just put bots in the game, which will allow people to win at the like the really low ranks. Then just put bots in the game and just let it be mostly bot games until somebody hits a certain level. Let them experience some wins, and then just make skill-based matchmaking in a game like that and then like have like a ranked element. There's all these different things you can do. Or yeah. Fortnite is a good example of what you should do for every game. Fortnite has been at the top of decision-making for their player base for a very long time. Except for when they had the sword and like planes in the competitive portion of like the Fortnite competitive scene. So yeah, they make dumb decisions too. Like, why would you ever allow planes and mechs in your tournament for like $2 million? Why? I remember watching one of the Fortnite competitive scenes with like millions of dollars on the line, and people, they literally had the sword in the game, and the sword basically gave you like regenning shields and one-hit potential to where you did like 100 damage per swing, and you could swing and jump with it and not have fall damage. Like, oh my god, bro. Adding the planes in Fortnite is when I quit playing. Same. I liked it when building was important, but editing wasn't crucial. The moment it turned into like box battles where you were like editing boxes to fight inside of just an entire tower of building is when it got really boring to me. I didn't mind when it was like, you know, you gotta try and build height. Whoever builds height better, gets the advantage. I didn't mind that, because even on a controller, I could still do pretty well with that. Yo, what's up, Spice Boy? Give me ass to build a fortress every time I take pop shots at somebody. See, I didn't mind building. I didn't mind building when it was like the fight was decided within 20 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, was it like a couple ramps up, and then you try and build a ramp over them and stuff, and then at some point maybe you drop down and break the building. I didn't mind that. But when it started to just be like, build a 90, 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 jump up, put this over here, and then like put a pyramid on top of it, edit the pyramid, and it was just like, all right, it just got boring.